Hello, my name is Danny Cook, and I am currently a student at Texas Southern University, working on a project for Professor Pan's data mining class, project number 2, and I will begin here. If you look here, you would see the actual PowerPoint where I am basically describing the clustering through decision tree construction, research paper reading and analysis. This is the actual paper here with the algorithm, and here is my PowerPoint. So instead of reading through the paper, as you can see, this is the paper here with the introduction. I have the table of contents, the people who contributed to the research paper. I have and the report itself. But instead of coming from there, I'll start the presentation from my PowerPoint. And let's start from the beginning here. So as you can see, it's the clustering through decision tree construction, research paper reading, and analysis by Danny Cook for my data mining class CS 583, Professor Mile Pan. Table of contents, we'll be going over the authors of the paper, the cluster definition, and the purpose of the paper. The motivation, algorithm computing problems, the CL tree technique, and the idea development. The analysis, mathematically or theoretically, contributions, decision tree construction, 2 modifications of the decision tree algorithm, performance evaluation, how much I understand and how much I do not understand about the research, and the conclusion. Let's get on with the introduction. In the introduction, you have the authors, which is Mao Bing Liu, Yuan Xia, and Phillips S. Yu. Introduction continued, the clustering definition. Clustering is an important exploratory data analysis task. It aims to organize objects. Clustering is often called unsupervised learning, as no classes denoting the a priori partition of the objects are known. The purpose of the paper. In this paper, the authors study clustering in a numerical space. Clusters in such a space are commonly defined as connected regions in the space containing a relatively high density of points, separated from other such regions by sparse regions. Motivation. Clustering has been studied extensively in the past. Many algorithms have been reported. However, these algorithms have some major problems computing them when needed. Hence, the CL tree is able to produce the partition with no endpoint added to the data. Motivation continued. The CL tree technique. The CL tree technique consists of 2 steps. The cluster tree construction. This step uses modified decision tree algorithm, which new purity function to construct a cluster tree to capture the natural distribution of the data without making any prior assumptions. Cluster tree pruning. After the tree is built, an interactive pruning step is performed to simplify the tree to find useful clusters. The final cluster are expressed as a list of hyper-rectangular regions. The idea development. Experiment results on both synthetic data and real-life applications data show that the proposed technique is very effective and scales well for large, high-dimensional data sets. The analysis. Contributions. The main contribution of this paper is that it proposes a novel clustering technique, which is based on a supervised learning method. It is fundamentally different from existing clustering techniques. Existing techniques form cluster explicitly by grouping data points using some distance or density measures. Analysis continued. This decision tree construction. Decision tree construction is a classic technique for classification. A database for decision tree classification consists of a set of data records that are pre-classified into Q known classes. The objective of decision tree construction is to partition the data to separate the classes, the Q classes. Two modifications to the decision tree algorithm. Since endpoints are not physically added to the data, we need to make two modifications to the decision tree algorithm. Compute the number of endpoints on the fly and evaluate both sides of the data points. Let's look at the algorithm as it is mentioned and notated in the actual report. Basically, in the algorithm, you have problems with the gain criterion here. So some cuts are basically needed. So the algorithm for the cut is basically here. If you can take a look at the algorithm. Okay, I'm going back to the project. How much I understand. While reading the paper, I understand that decision tree learning uses a decision tree as a predictive model which maps observations about an item to conclusions about the item's target value. I also understand that cluster analysis is the assignment of a set of observations into subsets called clusters, so that observations within the same cluster are similar according to some predesignated criterion or criteria, while observations drawn from different clusters are dissimilar. I understand that supervised learning is the machine learning task of inferring a function from labeled training data. Understand that in machine learning, the problem of unsupervised learning is that of trying to find hidden structure in unlabeled data. Approaches to unsupervised learning include clustering, k-means mixture model, hierarchical clustering, hidden Markov models, blind signal separation, feature extraction techniques for dimensionality reduction. What I don't understand, there is nothing in the paper that I don't understand while I was doing the reading. In conclusion, in this paper, the authors propose a novel clustering technique called CL tree, which is based on decision tree and classification research. CL tree performs clustering by partitioning the data space into dense and sparse regions. To make the decision tree algorithm work for clustering, the authors have devised a technique to introduce 9 existing points to the data space and design a new purity function that looks ahead in determining the best partitioning. CL tree has many advantages over existing clustering methods. The authors have conducted extensive experiments with the proposed technique. The results show that it is both effective and efficient. Bibliography. In the bibliography, the only reference that was used was a PDF reference called Clustering Through Decision Tree Construction that was provided by Professor Pan Mayo to read and report for Project 2 of Spring 2014 Data Mining class, CS 583 at Texas Southern University. And here's the link to that particular PDF on the TSU Black site Blackboard. And that is the end of my presentation. I hope that I get a good grade, and I just thank everyone who watches this video for clicking the link, and look for more from Danny Cook as I journey through my master's degree venture at Texas Southern University. Thank you.